Okay, now yesterday I was on hold and I was listening to the lady going, "We apologise for the delay." And I was thinking, my brain really finds it difficult. I know, because I do this all the time and I understand orthographic interference. dɪleɪ or a delay. I understand that. But all I can see is this, and I want to go dɪleɪ. So even though I know the phonetic symbols are going to be like dɪleɪ or a delay, dɪleɪ or a delay, my brain wants to go delay or think that that's what I'm hearing. Now, it's actually really good to work with children who don't have that stored in their orthographic lexicon. They've got no idea of the letters. So let's say, for example, a 2-year-old. Now, because I'm working with 2-year-olds, toddlers, to get them to connect the spoken and written code really early, and especially if they're dyslexic, because one of the hallmarks of dyslexia is being unable to hear those sounds. So I've got that orthographic interference going, wanting to go delay or whatever instead of delay, which are the sounds that I'm using when I'm saying, and also when I check with the universal code. But with toddlers, they're just going to give the sounds, but because they're giving the sounds, it shows me their brain is wired or becoming wired to be able to understand the link between the spoken and the written code. Children who are at risk of dyslexia, the earliest ways that you find out that they are is because they can't hear that it's delay. So by doing this with toddlers and then playing words in speech sounds, it's not only great for their phonemic awareness because they're having to hear what the sounds are, dɪleɪ or a delay, and these are just alternative phonetic symbols. So this monster says d. That's the phonetic symbol. I know it looks like a D. That's the phonetic symbol for I. I know it looks like a capital I. That's the phonetic symbol for O. And that's the phonetic symbol for A. That's a better one because it doesn't sort of confuse you with the letters. But the children are basically just playing words in sounds. They've got speech sound thoughts I sort of talk to them about. So let's think about words as speech sounds. Can you play the speech sounds? Delay. So the children who are at risk of dyslexia, this is perfect early intervention, and it's an intervention that's earlier than anywhere else because I'm starting it when they're 2. It's also helping with their articulation of sounds because, you know, they're going to go d, I, O, A. So they're going to practice those isolated speech sounds, isolated phonemes, which you wouldn't normally do because the only time you really think about phonemes is when you're teaching reading and spelling. You don't need to be aware of phonemes at any other time. If the children didn't need to learn to read and spell, they wouldn't need to think about the sounds. And if they can't hear the sounds, for example, they might be dyslexic, it doesn't matter. But it does matter if you know you're going to be teaching that child to read and spell. So it does matter that they can hear those sounds, and the phonemic awareness means it's not just hearing the sounds, it's getting the order right and being able to blend those sounds together. So if I said to a child, close your eyes, and I went they need to be able to hear that that's the word delay. So obviously I need to play it as quickly as possible. If you're going I'm waiting. You know, they've got to hold it. It's just too difficult. So make it as close as possible. Delay. So if they can blend those sounds, I know, oh, thank goodness for that, because they've got a brain that is indicating it's not dyslexic. But also if I give them a word, so I say, can you play the word delay in monster sounds? And they go I know, again, they're going to find learning to read and spell relatively easy, especially the way that we're doing it, because we're starting with these speech sounds and then hooking them onto the pictures of the sounds. So, whereas you, as a skilled reader, might struggle a little bit, exactly same as this one, same as you might have done in repeat, and I've put the phonetic symbols there, ip, eat, repeat. So the children think of monster sounds, you could think of phonetic symbols. Obviously doing the 2 is brilliant, but so let me just show you a toddler who has been asked to play the word delay in monster sounds, just in case you think sort of what I'm doing is something that's for older kids, if you like. Wow!
Do it one more time?
Yeah, can you do it one more time for me?
D, I, O, A. more time.
Okay.
dɪleɪ.
Oops.
I die.
Whoops.
dɪleɪ.
Die.
Oopsies. You got to do dɪleɪ. It.
dɪleɪ.
One more time.
Yeah, go on then.
dɪleɪ.
Oopsies.
Die.
dɪleɪ.
Yay!
Okay, so then you would think, okay, what was new for me? Well, it's not new because we've already looked at it before. Now, in the group, in the support group for specifically addressing this orthographic interference, I'm actually going to put all these words that we explore in the files section so that you can see that this word, phonetic symbols, dɪleɪ, and just so you can see the monsters, because it's going to further help you to really understand the use of the IPA, but also in the way that we do it with children. So the children don't need to know the IPA, they just need to know the monster sounds, because it's going to help them with their phonemic awareness, and especially if they are dyslexic.